Hi guys. So we're going to do today's reading. We've got a solar eclipse tomorrow. And that's the one I want to focus on for the weekly tarot reading, is to kind of prepare for that. So we've got that solar eclipse energy, and we've got the new moon Sagittarius going on. So we've got a little bit of that Sagittarius energy. One of the things that's going to be happening tomorrow is apparently the Electoral College is supposed to vote on the election. So that's a big thing. So that's kind of the next phase. You know, all the votes have been certified in the states, and now we're going into the Electoral College. So we've got a little bit of that energy. So hopefully all will be smooth with that. That could possibly pop up in my reading a little bit and so forth. I know there's been some civil unrest. There was some fighting, protesting, counter-protesters in D.C. And I think 6 people got stabbed and 23 people got arrested. So we're starting to see a little bit of that the Jupiter-Saturn alignment, with people, kind of things breaking down and so forth. And I really should look and see where Mars is positioned and all that stuff. But yeah, so let's get to this. What can we kind of expect with the solar eclipse energies, which of course they do kind of follow for about a week or so, that energy. And it's also very strategically in alignment as we're about to have that winter solstice with Jupiter and Saturn lined up. So let's check it out. So I'm going to use the Mystic Dreamer Tarot for this one. It's very feminine deck. Yeah, but we'll see how everything goes tomorrow with that. There better not be any funny business with the Electoral College. That would, oh Lord, if you think people are going to the street now. So I hope they know better and everything will be good. It should be, though. It should be. But what's some of that energy that is going to be coming through? December is definitely, oh God, I can hardly wait till this chapter closes, 2020. And we'll do a little bit of oracle cards too. We'll probably get to pull some from Moonology. So we've got a little sun and moon tomorrow. Okay, let's cut the deck. Actually, I want to pull that card. They're sticking up. Let's grab it. See what we've got. So I look at the Nine of Wands reversed, and I feel like there could be some people that are watching. This is very much kind of a defend yourself and so forth card. It's also about boundaries. I want you to kind of look at that. It's just like she's about to defend her position. So some people may feel a little bit defeated and so forth in defending themselves and setting boundaries. So this is definitely a time to kind of focus on that. What areas in your life do you need to set boundaries in various ways, especially with people and so forth. There's been a lot of conflict, and we were just talking about that a second ago with what's going on DC. So I could also see even an overall energy of people like trying to defend something and feel like it's almost a losing battle and so forth in defending. Yeah, I guess it's going to pop up a little bit. We've got the Knight of Swords. So this has been my trump card and everything. So we've got that recklessness of, with the energy and so forth that's coming forward. There's going to be probably a lot of frustration going on. But I feel like people, when I look at the Nine of Wands, and we've had this energy all year, And, we definitely had a lot of Black Lives Matter and the various things, the people, defending this or that position. I feel like people are just getting real tired of this, reckless Knight of Swords energy, that is going on. We just want to break from it. We want to, ground ourselves, and we want to bring the spirit back into the equation and so forth. It's real important. At the foundation is the Three of Wands in the reverse position. So we're just, right now we are all just waiting for the ship to come in. We're waiting for a better day and so forth. We're at the tail end of the year and so forth. And we are all praying that 2021 is going to be better. Now, even one of the things you could see that ship in various ways. Remember, the ship arrives and finally our moment. One of the things the world, the country is waiting on that vaccine. Now, I know there's a lot of people that are even in my group talking about it right now. Should we take the vaccine? Is this our saving grace here? The ship's about to arrive, right? Didn't they? I think they've even talked about these vaccines arriving on ships. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. And we've got this card showing here that energy. That is the big thing in the news, that they're going to start unloading this. There are a lot of people that are afraid. Hence, I feel part of the reason for the reversal is going for the vaccine and so forth. I don't want to start a big long commentary on my YouTube. I'm only going to say my personal opinion. What I'm going to do? I'm going to wait and see how it affects other people. That's what I'm going to do. And I also want to see who is going to be vouching that the vaccine is safe. That is real important and stuff. But I personally, I kind of want to see how it affects other people and so forth. But I feel like, and let me draw a card for that as well. Yeah. As I'm kind of meditating on that vaccine coming in, the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse position. So I feel like it's there's going to be a lot of people who want to reject it. They feel that this will go in a very unfortunate position if it is unloaded. And I do kind of look at that. Is it coming too soon? That is a concern. I do look at that and I see that Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. I'm like, maybe it's not our saving grace necessarily. Maybe we should have tried things a little bit longer and so forth. But I just don't want to start a big fat controversy. But I still will be real with you guys on my reads, of course. I will. I believe that's kind of the meaning and so forth. Maybe they needed more time and everything, more trials. It just feels a little rushed to me. Now, I know they want to rush and save lives. I totally get that. I totally get that. But at the same time, if I was going to do it myself, just my own advice, if I was going to do it myself, I want to see how it affects other people. Because if a whole bunch of people start dying of the vaccine, you think I'm going to take it? So, or various side effects that are really crazy. Let me draw one more for that. So I do have the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. Now, one of the things about the Seven of Cups, when it's upright and so forth, it can have to do with illusions and delusions and so forth. So I kind of look at that in the reverse position. The reverse position is normally a positive for me, just so you know, in the sense that we're dealing more with reality and so forth. So one of the things I feel is more needs to be uncovered. If they're going to be casting illusions on what this vaccine is about and so forth, if they're not making it clear to the American people what's really going on with this vaccine when it comes to trials. I mean, I'm not going to go and take a vaccine if I blindly don't know dick about it. You know what I'm saying? So we need to know a little bit more what's going on. If they can give more clarity and so forth on the situation, then that would be better. That really would be much better. One of the things, the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position, this is coming in the past position, energy and so forth. A lot of people, abundance has been very difficult and challenging. I feel like some of the people that are coming into December are starting as December, a lot of unemployment benefits are going to end. A lot of people's, relief is going to end and so forth. Is going to be very challenging because now, with the solar eclipse, we're going to start having that energy of certain things reaching fruition and so forth. So people are going to start feeling that crunch, unfortunately, from, the past months and everything that's going to be creeping up here into the present. So be prepared for that. There's going to be some very challenges. I feel people may start really speaking up more and more, especially people being affected with losing jobs, and even people getting evicted and so forth is going to happen. I want to draw a clarifier on that. I look at the Page of Swords, like we've been getting a lot of news and so forth. I look at the High Priestess in the reverse position. I feel there is some information in some way. There is some some knowledge and so forth that they're keeping back from us. I kind of get that little bit of energy right here, okay? That we need kind of some more knowledge, especially about this vaccine coming in, is one of the things. With the news that they hear, I look at, are some people that created it not following their intuition enough and using the right knowledge and so forth. That's a little bit concerning to me. That's a little bit concerning to me. But I do look at this with this energy. One of the things I do have death reverse. Okay, I actually feel okay on the death reverse position. One of the things we're trying to do is stop death, of course. And then I've got the Lovers here. So this kind of makes me feel some partnerships and so forth. I think of this Lovers is with the doctors and the government trying to work together. There are still some positive forces, guys, as I see this, that they are trying to work on something good. I think of Fauci. I feel he's a positive. I can trust him and so forth. But, overall, people are trying to stop death. So I do want you to kind of look at that. That is the goal. That's what they're trying to do. But are we ready for it? I kind of look at this energy here, especially with the Three of Wands reversed to the Wheel of Fortune. In the reverse position, it's like, oh, it does make me a little nervous. Okay, so with the Five of Swords, we've got that eclipse energy. We've had some civil unrest that has been going on in DC. I expect there's going to be more for this. The battle is not over. When the Five of Swords reverses for me, as you can see, it's a battle card. It's going to go on. So I have a feeling this is going to be an intense week. The Electoral College situation is going to be going on and so forth. And so I do feel there may be more unrest in the streets. I'm hoping, God, I hope, we don't have, the kind of civil unrest where people are hurting themselves and so forth. But at the same, I just do the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. So I do feel it's going to be a very intense week. Solar eclipses are not always a positive, just so you know. There a lot of things can really come to surface that are negative. And the Ace of Swords, if you watched my video last time, the Ace of Swords in the reverse position can be an evil symbol. And being next to the Five of Swords, I do feel it's going to be very intense on some of these confrontations. Some of these people that are very angry are really going to want to get out there. They're really going to want to get out there and voice their opinion and so forth of what's going on. So we're going to have some unrest. We're just, that card just flew out of my hand. We're going to have some unrest. So, just be ready for that. Just be ready for that. We're going to see, there's probably going to be some violent moments that are going to pop up. No, I'm not saying a big fat civil war, so don't freak out. I don't feel that. But I feel like, especially with this solar eclipse energy that's kind of popping up, things are coming to surface and people are really, they're really fed up on both sides. The people that are Trump supporters that really want him in office, they got it in their mind that this is a steal. But I don't think all of them do. I think a lot of them know it's a legitimate election, but they don't care. They want him in office. They want it to be this way because they feel like he's their guy. But then you have, other people who are against that and so forth. We want to get Biden in there. What good things going on? We want to stop this racial division and things like that. So these guys they're starting to clash with each other. And so I look at the Two of Wands in the reverse position. So that kind of makes me feel, as I was talking about the two sides and stuff, they're starting to meet at the fork in the road. And I do feel some people, are going to set the tone for the energy of what is going to come in 2021 as far as this division and so forth, what's going on. So this is going to be a very problematic week. I do feel some challenges with that. Now, as far as some of the energy that's going on, I'm going to kind of step aside a little bit from the social and group and a little bit more individual for some of you that are watching. I do like the fact that the Four of Wands and the Hierophant is showing in the Self position. So I feel like Spirit is saying that the relationships, this is really where the solar eclipse is starting to turn here. We're getting at the end of the year. The relationships that were meant to survive 2020, if you're still standing in your relationship in December, you know, and you make it through the solar eclipse, you should go on 2021 with that relationship. There were a lot of relationships that didn't make it, and that's one of the things. The Hierophant, he yokes the lovers together, and then we've got the stability of the Four of Wands. And one of the things is the reason I feel that there are certain people that survived 2020 relationship-wise is because their relationship was built on a solid foundation. And that's what the Four of Wands especially has to do. It's especially about creating a solid foundation for love and growth and everything and working together. And that's especially with the Hierophant. He really yokes the lovers together in that. So if you're still in your relationship and if you could survive this eclipse, especially, you know, if there's been a little bit of challenges, but if you can make it through this eclipse and you made it through 2020, you should go in 2021 with that person. Should be positive. So that is good. For anybody who is wondering if some miracle, we will get a stimulus check by the end of December in the year. This is where it's really boiling down to. The Six of Pentacles is about receiving money or gifts. Okay, let me try to get that image so you guys can see. As you can see, she is giving gifts to one and this and that. We've got the beggars and so forth. It's in reverse position. So do not expect a stimulus by December. Mitch McConnell is just sitting on it. They every which way have tried to negotiate, but he is really the one. You know, it's all come down to him, and he's ridiculous. I guess the main issue why he keeps putting it off is because he wants corporations, big corporations, to not be held accountable if they subject their employees to unsafe situations with COVID, that they cannot be sued. This is the big thing. The House is pretty much big on this because they don't want to pass it to the point they give all these corporations a pass that they can never be sued if someone died of COVID or got real sick or things like that. So he just wants them to be able to have a permission slip that they can get out of jail free card with that one. And the others aren't doing that. That's what's really holding up the stimulus, unfortunately. So do not expect that to get resolved in December. But another reason I believe this is showing is because a lot of people are running out of time. And we just kind of talked about that. Unemployment is going to run out. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of people that have no money coming in. And that is going to be the hard one. And just like I was talking about, see the Four of Cups? See how she's ignoring that cup? Okay, that's Mitch McConnell. This is a feminine deck. That's why it doesn't show the guy. Being offered the cup from the House. Okay, this is our deal. We can do this. We'll go lower than 2 trillion. We'll go to 900 billion. We'll do 300 instead of 600 for additional unemployment benefits for people. We'll do a smaller stimulus. This is our offer, and he's ignoring it. Okay, he said, hell no. And so he's the reason. Just think one man is the reason that you all have no money. Okay? One man. That's pretty scary. That's really scary that one person has all that power. He's a douche. As always, I talk about that in the hopes and fears position, just talking about that. The Four of Pentacles in the reverse position. It's getting harder and harder to hold on to the Pentacles. See how she holds on to them? And I guess she doesn't hold one in this deck. But what they do is they hold on to the Pentacles and so forth. But it's getting harder and harder to hold on to that money. So I feel this is part of the reason you're going to start seeing some of this. Okay, and this. People are getting real restless because they're starting to run out of money. And hey, Trump supporters are running out of money too. This isn't only a Democrat thing, right? So, but who they blame, it may be different. See, that's the thing. Democrats, a lot of people blame Mitch and this and that, Trump, and then, but you got Republicans who don't blame Mitch, even though he's the one. Well, the House should come up with this, that, and this, that, and then we can make a deal. They've already caved on some issues. See, that's what people need to understand. So I kind of look at the end card with the Five of Cups. That is about mourning a loss. The hard part, before we get to the upside, which is the right vaccine, I feel, is pretty much kind of what I feel. We're going to have more loss and death. I feel this could, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I feel this could increase even more than 3,000 a day. I feel that because I've also got the Six of Wands, which is the victory card reversing, is that we're failing. We're being defeated in that sense. So it's going to take a little bit before things get better. So I do feel this is going to be to be honest, this is going to be a serious energy week with what's going on. There's going to be some unrest. I believe there's going to be a little bit more news about that stimulus being rejected. Do not expect it in December. I would, hey, if a stimulus gets passed before, during December, I'll be like, okay, I was wrong. But I don't see it with the Six of Cups, or the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position. Highly unlikely with that situation. It does not look good at all. So, sad to say with the news on that. I'm going to draw some oracle cards from Moonology. Okay. So I do have the card balance, spirituality, and practicality. So I want you to kind of look at that. Think of practicality and so forth. One of the things I try to tell people when it comes to spirituality, try to be grounded with certain things. Especially when it comes to beliefs and so forth. We want to be realistic with certain things, but of course allow the beauty of spirituality to really wow us too. So kind of look at that. I do like the fact the end of a tough cycle approaches. So I feel like at the same time, I know there's bumps with this vaccine. Apparently there's going to be. I know we're, the stimulus, expect that to drag out till next year. But we're getting toward the end of the real bad, tough cycle, but it's going to be a little rough this week though. I do like the card have faith in your dreams for some of you. I know it's been a difficult year, but you still have dreams and there is still time to manifest. For some of you who've been kind of sitting on a decision and so forth, I've got the card be bold, make the first move. So I look at that. Let's get a little past this eclipse before you make a first move. It's like taking action during a solar eclipse. We do want to be a little cautious. We do want to be a little careful with. So yeah, so it's going to be a challenging week. This is, there's going to be some disagreements. Try to stay out of arguments with people. But I like the fact relationships, that is very true to what I've been saying all year. I did a post months ago, one day in the group. This is right at the onset of COVID and everything. But, that relationships will be tested during 2020 is one of the things. And if you could, make it through those tests, you could survive. If your relationship, if you're still here in December and you still got this going on, and everything, and you can make it through the solar eclipse, you can survive and make it into 2021. So that is a good one. I like that. There's got to be some kind of upside to my read, right? But there's going to be some challenges. But yes, please don't flood me with vaccine stuff. Please, but I do understand the apprehension of this vaccine. It feels a little rushed to me. It feels a little rushed to me. I know they're working hard. I know a lot of good scientists. I know they want to save lives. But I definitely, that's what I'm going to do. I want to see how it affects other people before I take a shot. That's what I'm going to do. Because, I'm in no hurry. I just avoid people. That's what I do. I try to avoid going to the store. I try to, just avoid doing things. But and I'll just keep doing that. And then maybe after 3-4 months or something, if people are making it through this vaccine and it's looking good, then I'll, go and get it, if it's available. I'm going to draw some from the Animal Oracle deck. I'm going to throw a few more in, and then I'm going to head out. So I like the owl spirit. You see clearly now. If you didn't see clearly early in 2020, you do now. You should have a better view and handle about what's been going on in the world, in our country, in our government. Certain things that were very obscure, like we talked about the Seven of Cups in the reverse position. Things are starting to become more clear. We're dealing a little more in reality now. Yes, there's still some people that do not see clearly, but the majority of sane people do. I like Beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation. So, of course, to be able to withstand the storm and so forth, that's one of the things we're trying to do, is lay a solid foundation. And then I also got dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. I love that. Dogs are the most loyal creature, aren't they? They are like your best friend. They love you. They are just incredibly loyal, incredibly protective. And then I have porcupine spirit, time for beginner mind. And maybe we do need to do that. We just need to go back to the beginner mind. I'm not sure why they get porcupine beginner mind. I would have to think on that. Maybe you guys can comment and go, this is why I think. I'm not sure why they picked porcupine, but it's really cute. It's a really cute card. So I hope you guys enjoyed my read. But yeah, try not to conflict with people this week. I got that very hostile type of energy coming through, and that's what it thinks. And we got that Sagittarius, that free spirit, this, that, but remember the Sagittarius has an arrow, right? It's a warrior. It is a warrior sign as well, very much so. So we do want to be kind of careful with that fire energy, but try to stay out of conflict with people, and we'll see how everything goes tomorrow with that Electoral College.